Peace, guys. Welcome back to ZENSFXHUB, where macro and markets is simplified, okay? And in this video, I'm going to go over how I find trades for both gold and silver. Because I had somebody tell me that they find it very hard to find entries on gold and silver because they wait for a pullback. They don't know how much is going to pull back. And then them waiting, they end up missing an opportunity, okay? So I'm here to kind of help you guide you through that, right? Based on how I trade. So first off, when I like to point out, when I trade gold and silver, I mark up my structure on a daily and the 4-hour time frame. I also utilize the 4-hour time frame to find entries. I only use two time frames. That's it. In the past, I was using the 2-hour time frame to kind of get like more precise entries, but I'm simplifying my trading this year, so I took off the 2-hour and just sticking to the 4-hour. The lowest I'll go, right? So the first thing I'll ask myself is, what are my confluences, right? Do I see any of my confluences? And my confluences is a break of structure, right? A break above a old high or a old low, right? A retest to where structure was broken. Are there accumulation zones? And is there higher lows or lower highs being formed depending on if I'm buying or selling? That's it, okay? So that's what I'll do. I'll go on the daily time frame and I'll figure out and I'll ask myself, right? Where is the last previous high, being that we are in the uptrend? So in this case, it's 95,900. This right here was the last previous high. I'm not talking about this candle. I'm talking about the last one, right? So I will go ahead and mark that up. I'll either put a line or I'll put like a small rectangle around it like this. And boom, right? That would be the first thing. So then after I mark that up, I would say, okay, I would like to see a retest come down to this area and where I'll be looking to possibly, buy or scale in, whatever, right? So I will buy from here and then take it to the upside. And then I'll take the same approach, the same thing I asked myself, and I'll go down to the 4-hour time frame and do the same thing, right? So when you look at the 4-hour time frame, this is where I get my accumulation zones from, right? Because you see how the market is moving sideways, ranging, consolidating, whatever you want to call it. To me, these are just this is the market accumulating buy orders for it to continue to the upside. So even on a 4-hour time frame, I'm still looking for the same exact thing. I'm looking for the market to come back down to retest this level of the previous high and even this area of accumulation, right? The market might even come down a little bit lower and then start to trade higher. So that's one way I find, trades, okay? And another way is higher lows, and this will be a great way for me to um go to gold, right? Because this is how I got in for this trade. This today, actually, before New York session happened, I got in for a trade on gold, right? So once again, now look, the reason why I use the daily and I use the 4-hour time frame is because sometimes on a daily time frame you may not get pullbacks on a daily time frame, right? For example, we had the break of structure here, right? This was the last previous high. Again, this is what I asked myself. Where's the last high? Okay, the last high was here. Okay, I'm going to wait for a pullback to this high. Now, do you see the difference between me marking up this high and waiting for a pullback than me marking up this high and waiting for a pullback? Super big difference. And this is when the 4-hour time frame comes into play. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm not saying that the market cannot crash all the way down here to retest this level and continue up. That is not what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I am a trader. I trade the data. I trade what is in front of me, and I don't try to act like I know what's going to happen just because something happened last week. I'm thinking it's going to happen again. No, right? At any given moment, the market can crash down here. It can come back down to here. It could just come crashing down. But that is not the case right now. So in technical terms, looking at the daily time frame, I would need to have a pullback here technically because this was the last previous high. Now going to the 4-hour time frame, this is where structure looks way better for me on gold. Why? Because on the 4-hour time frame, this was the last previous high, which I have marked up here. And again, what am I going to look for? Say it. What am I going to look for? I mark up the previous high and then I wait for a what to that high? A retest for the market to come back down. Super simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate this shit, bro. So, boom. The market literally came down, gave me a small little retest. I said, okay, cool. That's a confluence for me. I'm like, all right, let's see what is going to happen after this candle close. So I was a little aggressive. Now, when it comes to me getting in for trades, I can sometimes be aggressive, right? Getting in. But what I'm not aggressive with no more, or that I fixed, is how much I'm risking. So I'll be aggressive getting in, but I won't be too aggressive when it comes to risk. It depends on the situation. Okay. So this is a higher low to me right here, right? This is a higher low. Some people might not consider this a higher low because this candle did not close yet, right? They're saying they could be like, oh no, the candle didn't close, and the candle could end up closing down here, down here. You know what I'm saying? So it can invalidate that, like me saying that this is higher low. But in my opinion, I am a fundamental macroeconomic trader. So when it comes to fundamentals and macroeconomics, those things give me the reasons on why I'm present buy and sell. And being that those things I'm aware of what's going on, I feel very confident in gold continuing to move up. Okay. So we got the breaker structure, the retest, and then we have this higher low that's formed. And technically it is because this made a new high. Like this high is higher than this high. Okay. So boom, I got in for the trade. Now, what I would be looking forward, right, for another possible entry is again, right, we have this high right here. So I will go put a line here, okay, and then put my little rectangle, like this, all right, and then what I will be wanting to see is something like this, right? I want to see something like this. This candle close super bullish, or either this candle close like strong, either this. Hold on, let me take this off real quick. Oh, I'm trying to stop. About to piss me off. So either this candle could either close like this, like strong, or it could close like this, or it can close as a doji. We don't know. We got a few more hours, right? So what I'll do is let me put my markings back on because this shit shot out. Boom. Right? So what I'll be looking for is something like this. This candle close strong, come back down, retest, continuation to the upside. Boom. Okay? Or if this candle doesn't close super strong, like a candle like this, then I will take this off, and then this will come down here to this line, to this side. Because after this candle close, this will become the last previous high. You know what I'm saying? So then I'll be looking for, once again, up, down, boom. You feel me? So this is how I trade gold and silver. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to overcomplicate it. If it gives me a small little pullback, a small little higher low, small little retest, I'm taking it. Because again, you trying to wait for the perfect pullback. Oh yeah, I have to wait like on a daily time frame. Imagine if I was on some shit like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for a pullback here. You know how much money I would have missed out on this trade? You feel me? Like even with this, look at this small pullback that it gave you. It came, went up, gave you this small pullback, shot up. This was even this small little pullback, shot up, and then kept going. So this is why I stick to the daily and the 4 hour, and this is how I trade gold and silver. This is how I find my place. This is literally step by step on what I do. You take this, I promise you'll see success. But disclaimer, just keep in mind that we may have, the market may come crashing down, given a bigger correction, because that happens. But overall, I'm super bullish, and I'm super bullish on both gold and silver for the rest of this year. Okay, so I trust this video will help you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.